Well, welcome to this little time of encouragement here on this Monday as we head into another week and things continue to change all around us and so much is swirling around. And I trust in the midst of all of this, you're rejoicing in the Lord and thankful for His goodness. The message of Christmas is such a blessing. We've had wonderful times here with our festivals and the concerts and just the services focusing on what Christmas is all about. And we as believers need to show the greatest hope, the greatest confidence of anyone. We cannot be down. We've got to have joy. And it's very important for us to realize that the world is looking at us. And they need to realize that there is something different. In the many different festival presentations we've had, folks coming from the community have remarked at the joy and the freedom that our folks have had, and I've been very thankful for that. And may God give us that kind of testimony in the days ahead. And one of the ways for us to reap blessing is to let God continue to work in our hearts. One of the verses that's often used for revival is found in Hosea chapter 10, verse 12. Sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord, till He come and rain righteousness upon you. It's a great verse, and there's so many different angles that you can take. When you look at the context of the book of Hosea, it is a very serious condemnation of the apostasy and direction of Israel, their lack of faith, their lack of obedience. And yet, God gives the call to them to seek Him. And He says, seeking Him, you need to sow in righteousness, and you'll reap in mercy, and then break up the fallow ground. Now, I want to encourage all of us to realize that God is using these trials that we're facing right now to break up the hard ground that cannot be planted with seeds of mercy and blessing and revival. Whether we like to admit it or not, we as believers that really want to see God work still are in our own little bubbles many times, and hearts not necessarily hardened by sin, but just hardened by the expectations of our life and the routine that we're in and the American dream. And God right now is all across this country plowing. He's breaking up that hard ground. He's making us realize how false a view we really have of life and what it's really all about. And I want each of us to be encouraged that that's a real blessing, because He will then sow in our hearts in such a way that we will reap in mercy. If we'll seek the Lord, He will rain righteousness upon us. God could change American Christianity in a matter of months if there were enough churches and enough individuals that sought the Lord and let God just go deep with them and be honest and deal with whatever sin is there and understand the truth and spend time with Him. God could then rain righteousness from above, and there could be a dramatic change across this country. I long to see that happen, and I think that's what we ought to be praying about. Right in the midst of a very dark book, in the sense of judgment and condemnation, you have this verse of hope that you can seek the Lord. And if you do seek the Lord, He will rain righteousness. He will cause us to reap in mercy. He will work. He can do a reviving work. And we need to believe that. So for those of us who have hearts that want to see Him work, let's seek the Lord. Let's let Him plow deeply. Let's don't let the frustration of the moment stop us from getting the full impact of what He's wanting to do. And may we rejoice in the years ahead that as hard as 2020 was, it was a time that we needed. And the greatest blessing we've ever seen in our lives occurred because of it. I believe that will be the case if we'll seek the Lord.